A pretty good job. George hated school. It wasn't that his teachers were that bad. Actually, they tried their best with George. It was that he was uninterested in practically everything related to school,
I'd rather draw or play baseball anyway.
he would mutter. Last open house, George waited up for his mom and dad to return home so he could hear the reports his teachers gave about him.
George, all your teachers say the same thing.
His father stated firmly.
You just don't put enough effort into your subjects. George, you could do a lot better if you tried harder.
Dad didn't know how much he tried. School stuff just didn't come easy like it did for his older sister Jill.
Let's face it, I'll always be a terrible student.
George thought. Well, it was during spring that things took a turn for the better for poor George. As usual, George was doodling his little drawings while Mrs. Gemma was choosing students for various activities in the show. He was so deep in his daydreams that he didn't notice Mrs. Gemma standing directly in front of him. She took away his drawings and said firmly,
George, see me after class. George Rittman, do not doodle during class again. You know my feelings about that. I'm surprised at you. Now, these drawings show me that you're quite an artist. We're going to use your talent in the Easter show. Would you like to be in charge of all the scenery, artwork, and staging, George? George, if you really don't want to do it, I could pick another student.
No, I do, Mrs. Gemma. I'll get right to work.
The next few weeks were hectic ones for George. He would finish his homework during lunchtime and work on the stage during recess and after school. George felt a tremendous sense of excitement.
What color should I paint the baskets, George?
Amanda asked one afternoon.
Light brown, but be careful not to get the color on the eggs. Let me cover the eggs with newspaper so they won't get in your way.
Well, finally it was done. Mrs. Gemma took a last look while the entire 7th grade watched her.
George Rittman, you have done a remarkable job. I'm so very proud of you. I have never seen a more beautiful and authentic stage.
George felt a part of the class now. He was respected by his friends and admired for his talent. As he looked once again at the beautiful Easter scene on stage, he whispered softly,
I did a pretty good job after all.